Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I am James and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. I apologize about not doing a big video last week. We had a lot of fish and plants come in, and so the days just get away from me. I swear, it's unreal. But as you've seen from the title of this video, I wanted to talk about what your favorite fish is. You know, it's really hard when we order in fish because I have to try to think about what the consumer wants and what type of fish they like. So we're gonna go through a selection of fish and tell me if there's any that pique your interest or any that are something that fascinate you or something that maybe you've never seen before. Let us know down in the comments below. Also, thank you to all the new subscribers. We bring you fish and plant videos each and every week. We're trying to localize the niche down so that we're focused more just on freshwater. If that's something that interests you, please do consider subscribing. With that being said, guys, let's jump into it. Sorry, I've been battling. I actually went to the doctor yesterday and it turns out I have pneumonia with a cold, so that is awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so these guys right here, we have the Emperor Tetras. For me, they're not as fascinating as like the Otocinclus algae eater. Then we have things like the snake skin guppies. Everybody loves guppies. They come in like 9 million different colors. Now, you can't forget about the Corydoras. Those guys are so cute. And then we have things like the, oh, what are you? I think that's a Cupid cichlid that's in there. That's what it says it is. And then we have Rasboras and angels as well. I would say in this tank, I actually like the Cupid cichlids, but they can be kind of punks as they get older. Over here, we have Scissortail Tetras. We also have a giant Grommy brought to us by MB Betas. I love the giant betas, they're so cool. And if you're wondering why our little crayfish are in timeout, it's because that when we let them go, they destroy tanks. And we actually had one that took on an Oscar and won. The Oscar went down to take a breather and he just came up and attacked, and I was like, oh my god, okay, you're going in timeout. Oh look, floating. Lemon guppies. This one actually is empty. This is crazy because this tank in the last 2 years has never been empty. Yes, there's plants in there, but there's no fish in there. We had peacock cichlids in here, and then we had African cichlids in here, and they just kept having babies and babies and babies, and so like we just kept trying to sell them, and yeah. So it's weird to actually see that one empty. Up next is actually one of my favorites. This is my barb tank. We have albinos, we have normals, we have cherry barbs, black ruby barbs. I actually like the black ruby barbs the best. I just think they have such amazing color. We also have the Buenos Aires Tetras in here, but as you guys know, Buenos Aires can be kind of punks, so that's why they're in here with the barbs. Down here, everybody loves neon tetras. These guys are really easygoing. They're a community fish, and they underneath the right light, that blue just shines, and I like that about it. Then we have one down below. We actually have the cardinal tetras, which in my opinion is just a bigger version of a neon. And we also have the rummy nose tetras as well, which those guys mixed in with the neons. I mean, could you imagine if you, let's say you had like 1,000 neons and 1,000 rummy nose in this massive tank? That'd be so cool. But it's crazy because like when you put those in a big tank, you're like, oh, you know, like 50 will do, and then it's like this small cluster, and you're like, I guess I need more. Then over here we have new fish that we've actually never had before in the store. This one right here is an albino paradise fish, if he will ever sit still. Apparently not. That's actually the boy, and then the girl's right there. She's like, okay, you caught me. Then we have things like the pearl gummies in here. We also have the pencil fish right there, and then there's a beta somewhere in here. Next up is the giant danios. We also have the Zaku platypus in here. You know, it's said to be a predator fish, but so far it hasn't bothered anything. We also have the Siamese algae eater in there as well. Now, this is a true Siamese algae eater and not the Chinese algae eater that they're commonly confused with. Chinese algae eaters are actually bullies and they don't really eat a whole lot of algae, whereas Siamese algae eaters, as you can see, he is very healthy. Down here we have the dwarf flame grommies. If you're looking for a smaller type of grommie and you don't want to do the silvers or the opaques, the dwarf grommies are definitely the way to go. Easy going. Then up next is the platy tank. We have Mickey Mouse platies, we have zebra platies, we have all the crazy platies in here. These guys breed like no tomorrow. Up next, we have the Dorati rainbow fish tank. There's a pair in here. And then there's also a flagfish back there. Oh, he's like, nope, you saw me. I'm gone. Up next, we have the female guppies. Now, I know that they're not as colorful as the males, but I mean, look, you can see that some of these females actually do have a lot of different color on them. And you're like, well, how do you know that these are all females? They're not. There are actually specifically some males in here so that they keep reproducing, because we have some predator fish that do need food, if you know what I mean. And so that's why we're constantly breeding those. Up next, we have the different swordtails. We have the tricolors, we have the marbles, and we have the, oh, what are you? You're the blue something. You're actually not even supposed to be in that tank. You're supposed to be somewhere else. There's also a golden nugget pleco in here. He was out a little bit ago, but he shot in the back. He does not like to be seen, but he's like that big. He's really big. Next up, this is actually where that platy should be, but this is actually more mollies. This is actually our sorted molly tank. I like having the different variations. I don't like having the black mollies just because they blend in so well. Now, if you had like a really bright tank, I could see doing it, but for the most part, I like the tricolors and the golds. Down here, we actually have the dwarf grommies, and we also have the sunset grommies. This is a sunset that's looking directly at me. We also have another giant beta there. These guys are actually healing because there was actually a fish in here. I don't remember what the name was. It was a weird name. It was supposed to be a docile fish. It turned out it wasn't, and it was shredding everybody's fins. So I put him in timeout, and then he sold. So these guys are all recovering, but that just says right there, before you put a fish in, make sure to do your research. We have more guppies down there. I'm not going to show you. We also have different variations of angels. We have koi angels, and it's crazy. Like, you would think that angels would sell really well, but they really don't, because once they pair up, then they're just butt heads. I mean, all these guys started that big. These guys, that big, and yeah, they're always hungry. Now, before we go on to some of the nano tanks, do you guys see any that you like? Any fish that would pique your interest? Or maybe there's something that you haven't seen so far and you're like, well, these are the type of fish I like. Let me know, because I'm always trying to find out what my clientele likes, or if you see a fish or want me to do a video on a fish, let me know and I can do that for you. This tank actually has Fireworks Galaxy Rasboras. They're way in the back. We also have a crystal black shrimp right there. This tank down here has a bunch of endlers. It also has the snow white rice fish, which I had never had before. They are kind of an expensive fish. Whoops, sorry, I almost fell. But they're really pretty. We also have the Borneo Hillstream loaches. Down here is actually pretty straightforward. We just have the glow light tetras and the Enix rasboras. Up here, we also have the gold ring butterfly Hillstream loach. We have our female sorority betas, as well as some of the SB rasboras. Now this tank, there's nothing really in it. This is just a baby grow out. Down here is the same. There's supposed to be, oh, there he is. It's a bigger keyhole cichlid. I'm surprised that we can actually see in this tank because he thrashes this tank, hence why he's by himself. Over here we have just a beta, and we also have some panacories, as well as there's a dragon bristlenose somewhere in here. Huh. But we also have the red fin keelyfish. Why don't you turn? That way everybody can see. Look at that. Look at that pattern. That's just crazy. Ooh, this is actually where I moved my baby African cichlids. They actually do a lot better and they're not as stressed. We find that with African cichlids, especially babies, you want to make sure that there's lots and lots of coverage for them. Otherwise, they are just they're such a wreck. Over here, we also have some more scissortail rasboras. These guys I thought would sell really well, but they just didn't. And over here, nothing crazy. We have more cardinals. We have more. These are actually steel blue keelies. These are actually females. We have a grow out tank. We have some blue endlers down there and more rasboras. We have snowball shrimp. Let's see if we can. That light is just a killer. Down here, they're in hiding, but we have the dwarf crayfish. I think there's only like one or two in there. Now, as you can see, we only have a pair of angels in here because they're little I'm sorry, a trio. Because he likes more than one girl. Weirdo. Going down here, these are actually on the up and up, is the Orandas. Now, I've noticed that the imported ones actually come in a lot better shape than the American raised ones. Maybe that's just my vendors, but it's what we've seen. They are a unique type of goldfish, and we've only recently started carrying them. This is my big male guppy tank. There's like 100 some guppies in there, and it's just crazy. Down here we have actually quite a few different things. We have German blue rams. There's some gold ramsaries, and then there's also some rainbows. There's some electric blue rams. Just a very colorful tank. Over here we have the American koi, and I say American because I'll show you here in a minute. One of our turtle tanks, we actually have the Mississippi map turtle in here. Over here we have the puffers, if we can see any. Let me know if you can see any. I don't know, just about. And then down here we have a bunch of rainbow fish. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite fish was, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you all, and I hope you guys have all a good Thanksgiving and spend time with your family. As always, guys, thank you so much for the support.